Hi everybody. Hope everyone's doing as well as you can be right now in these crazy times. Um, in my introductory video, I stated that I work 7 days a week, two jobs, and I'm still doing that during all of this craziness. So I figured that I would make a video, just a quick one, kind of explaining what I decided I'm going to do for myself to kind of make getting ready in the morning a little more fun, a little more entertaining, especially since working 7 days a week just in general is exhausting. With all of this on top of it, it's just more mentally exhausting. And half the time, I just kind of want to like get up, do a real quick look, like barely anything like today, and just go out the door. But I figured, trying to make it a little more exciting, as much because I love makeup, is going to kind of put that happiness and that spirit back into me. So basically, what I did, I got the idea off of these Project Pan videos that I've kind of been starting to watch a little bit more of. It's something similar. I've kind of found like a couple different projects I could kind of like throw together. Whether or not it's going to work, we'll see. Depends on how much motivation I have and determination to do this. But for the main project, I guess you could say, I was watching a Project Pan video, and the one girl I was watching, I can't remember who it is because it's not somebody I watch. None of these Project Pan videos have been by anybody that I actually watch consistently, so I don't remember any names. Sorry. Um, but she was rolling in new products or new eyeshadows, and she had a spreadsheet with all the shadows on them, and she used a generator to find a number and that number matched up with the eyeshadow, so that's the eyeshadow that she used. So I decided to do something a little bit like that. I was looking through different generators, and I found this one's called Random UX, and on this one, which I'll show you, it has a list option. So I'm not sure, we can see, right? Okay, good enough. So this is the unpaid for version, so I can only make 3 lists, which is fine. So I have, there we go, I have highlighters, eyeshadow palettes, and blushes. Now those are the ones that I have the most of. I have bronzers, but I have a lot of like multiple bronzers. So I have multiple NARS Laguna bronzer. I have a couple Hoola Benefit bronzers. I have the Hoola Light by Benefit, which I'm going to repurchase because I'm scraping at the edges of that one right now and I really like it. But the original, I just have like 2 or 3 of those as well. So those I can just kind of choose as I go. But the eyeshadow palettes is kind of what inspired this because I have so many, especially some that I just don't use because I stick with the same 1 or 2 palettes for like a couple of weeks and I don't really venture off. So this app, basically every morning when I get ready, I let it choose my highlighter, my blush, and my eyeshadow palette. So I started this past Monday, which was April 6th. I didn't do it today, so I did it for Monday to Thursday, which was the first 4 days. And so Monday morning, my very first day trying this, the very first eyeshadow palette that I got, which I kind of like rolled my eyes at, but I went with it because whatever I get, that's what I'm going to use. It's the Neon Pink palette by Huda Beauty. And like I said, I love this palette, but I wasn't really feeling a bright pink look on a Monday morning. So what I decided to do was just go with a light wash over my lid, and I used this lighter peach neon shade with this pink sparkle shade or shimmer shade over top of it. And I just did something really subtle, but I used it, and that was my main thing. I didn't regenerate another palette, and I'm not going to do that for my blushes, and I'm not going to do that for my highlighters. So my looks may look a little bit crazy, but hey, I've had some pretty pink looks the last little bit. Pink eyeshadow and blush, pink highlighter and blush, all 3, you know. So what I figured is I have a lot of palettes that have both neutrals and brights, like my Life's a Drag palette, for example. So if I decide I'm not feeling it one day and I just do a simple neutral look, the next time that palette cycles through and comes up, I have to use the brights, whether it's just one shade mixed with neutrals, all brights, or most brights and neutral. I just have to make sure I use a bright shadow. And it's just basically to make sure that I'm not only cycling through all of my palettes, but I'm cycling through, if not all, most of the shades, because there's lots of palettes, like I don't ever use a black shadow. Probably won't. Like, that's the one, unless I use it for eyeliner, which I don't because I like the pen, the liquid pens or whatever, like the Essence one. They're waterproof, like that's my favorite. So I'm probably not going to use the black shades, but as long as I use mostly everything, I would like to get rid of a palette before I purchase a new one. We'll see how that goes. We'll see how this random generator thing goes. I'm kind of excited for it though because it brings up, like, I wouldn't have used this. I've used this a few times, but I wouldn't normally use it. I think it pulled up which my Eyelights palette by Becca was the other day. I normally use just like one shade out of that palette. That's the one that has like all of the highlighters as eyeshadows, and I wouldn't go and buy each highlighter to use as eyeshadow, but one of the darkest shades in there I really like using on my eyes, so I stick with that. But when I got it, I used a different shade because I usually stick with that one, so I wanted to switch it up a bit. So I have that going. It's been kind of fun so far, but like I said, I haven't used it today. I'll use it tomorrow because I go to work, definitely starting on Tuesday and for the rest of the week and days coming forth. But on top of that, I found a bunch of products that either I forgot about or I just don't use because I did some cleaning the other weekend and I came across a bunch of stuff, and single eyeshadows are something that I did not put into this project. And I figured, you know what, I'm never going to use them because I don't reach for the single shadows. So, what I decided to do as another spin off or whatever you want to call it on these Project Pan videos, I'm not using them to necessarily hit pan, but I'm using it to make a dent in it, just to use it up because otherwise they're going to sit, and they have been sitting. So I want to cycle them in to get some sort of use out of them, so I feel better about not wasting all of my money on these products because they're not cheap. So what I'm deciding is for April, even though I haven't used it yet, is I'm going to use a single Urban Decay shadow. It's Midnight Cowboy Rides Again, which this one's nice, especially to start with because it's just a very light shimmer shade. I don't think you can really see that, but there's some shimmer in there. So it would be really nice as an inner corner highlight or all over the lid, or mix it in somehow. So basically, what my thought process is use a shade from this palette if it comes up and use this with it. I don't have to use this every single day, but just enough to kind of get use out of it and maybe make a small dent in it per month. And I think every month, as of right now, every month I'll switch out a single eyeshadow for another single eyeshadow. And then because I don't have many of those, I have a few, but not very many, that I think by the end of the year I'll start cycling through them a second time, and I'll kind of make a little bit more of a dent and get those going, opposed to my palettes taking forever. So for bronzers, because I haven't put a bronzer in this, I found my butter bronzer, which I couldn't remember what I did with this thing. I found this the other night, so I'm using this today, which I put a little too much on, and as I mentioned before, I'm all out of my Hoola Light bronzer and I want to repurchase that. I like using that as not only a bronzer in the winter because I am fair, but using it as a mix-in, so it would tone down this one a little bit, which is what I needed today, but it's kind of hard when you're scraping at the sides. You can't really get much product. So I'll use that for the month of April. I'll switch my bronzers out as I feel like it. Those ones I'm not going to be super like strict with, but I'll try and see what I can do with them. Also, I have, like, for blushes, this one is my Too Faced Love Flush in Baby Love, and I really do like this, so I think I would use this to like mix in with a blush as well, depending on the blush shade that I get. I do have the Benefit, I think it's the Cheeksters. It's the very first cheek palette that they came out with all of their blushes, and the Hoola bronzer. So yeah, that would be why I have three. um, so that's kind of what gave me the inspiration to throw the blush in there, because I'll pick that palette and I'll pick one shade out of that palette to work on, and I can mix it in. I don't have to use it every day, but I can mix it in. I can blend it with another shade of blush because, like I said, my blushes are in that generator and I do want to use that too. So the blushes, I'm not like super, super strict on either, but I would like to start getting use out of those palettes, or that I probably wouldn't reach for otherwise. When it comes to loose powders, I have tons. This one I'm just going to finish up because it's what I've been using lately. It's the Cover FX powder in lights, so I have very, very little left. Like, you can't even see it in there. Yeah, no, but it's in there. It's getting hard to come out, so I just want to finish that. I'd finished one other powder and I can't remember which one it was, and then I got rid of that and I moved on to this one. That was like, I've had this for like years, so it's old. So I want to finally get rid of that, move on to the next one, and so forth. So aside from just makeup, I kind of wanted to throw in some like perfume and some like cream products, so like moisturizers or body creams. So I have lots of creams and sprays from Bath and Body Works, and this actually is what I'm gonna start. I don't have to use it every single day again, but try and stick with this one at nighttime. It's the aromatherapy line from them, and it's in the sleep. I have another one that's called Sleep too, but it came before this one. But it's in a dusty rose bottle, and I think it's older. It's like a year older than this. But this is just really nice. This one has black chamomile in it with natural essential oils, and it's just smells really nice, and it's just really soft, and I want to use it up because like I said, I have so many different kinds that I just want to use them up before they get too old. So I'll also include their sprays that I have from them, but I also have tons of these little perfume samples. This one is actually from the brand Clean. I just took it out of the packaging. So this is Clean Ultimate, and I figured, these little ones, I had another one by Clean, and it was a little spray, so like 5 sprays or so, and you're pretty much done the bottle. So I figured it would be a quick way to get rid of these ones. I think this one you would probably just open the top, spill it out onto your hand, and like kind of tap it. So again, those are going to go pretty quick because that's only a couple uses. I did get rid of some and gave them to my mom this morning, so that got rid of some of them that I have, but I still have some left over that I'm not sure if I'm actually going to use or not, so I want to see what I'm going to do with those. But I do want to use up the products I have before I purchase anything new. So yeah, that's pretty much all that I have set for April. We'll see what happens. We'll see, if this continues on down the line, which I'm hoping it does. Um, but I just figured getting ready in the morning, especially 7 days a week, it's really tiring. So if I threw something in there to make it a little more exciting and a little more entertaining and a little more fun for me, then maybe it would kind of throw that happiness and that spirit back into me because feeling like I need it right now. I'm sure most people are. So yeah, let me know what you think of that. If you've tried anything like that, if you watch those Project Pan videos, what your take is on those things. If you've done something like that as well, how you feel about them. If you think that this is something you would want to try, if you haven't, just let me know your thoughts. And yeah, let's hope that I can keep this up. That's the main thing, I gotta say. All right, well, I'm gonna get going, get back to cleaning, and see where this day takes me. So I will see you guys all later. Thanks for watching. Bye.